George Washington, Paul Revere, The Embrace, just a few of Boston's iconic statues set in bronze celebrating heroes in battle, sports, and literature. But for artist Wen Ti-Tsen, when considering who is honored in our public spaces, there is something missing.
Workers is almost never celebrated in our society. Politicians and soldiers are. And I would like very much to celebrate all these different kind of work that build a society.
For Tsen, that celebration will come in the form of 4 bronze statues representing laborers in 4 fields. Though not glamorous, they were crucial to early Chinese immigrants trying to provide a better life for their families.
One is the laundryman, one is the cook, and one is the garment worker, and one is the grandmother, which sometimes people don't think as a worker. But because they spend so much time actually taking care of the children, they're unpaid, but they're workers.
Is this the original?
This is my imitation workspace.
For this project, Tsen has exchanged the privacy of his studio for this very public gallery space at Pow Art Center in Boston's Chinatown. This is where he will convert his renderings and scale models to full-size statues with every detail meticulously considered.
I want him to have a certain kind of dignity inside him, and eventually the eyes will not be like blot out, but be looking at you in an equal way.
Once complete, with the support of the city of Boston, these statues will be placed throughout Chinatown. It's important for these to be at street level.
I don't want to elevate them as though someone to be worshipped or anything like that. When people walking by, I want them to relate to them as a real people.
6 years ago, Tsen started thinking about the future, not in terms of decades, but a more manageable 2,000-day increment.
I mean, if you're $2,000 in the bank, you know it's not very much, and every single dollar is very worthwhile. So every day becomes very worthwhile.
Now, at age 87 and potentially years away from completing his latest series, he's looking to reset that clock.
Now I really need that 2,000 days to finish them.
On a brisk November afternoon, students and community leaders gathered at Roxbury Community College for the unveiling of a new mural. Roberto Chow was the primary instructor behind the work, but sees his role as much more poetic.
I'm an activist, conductor of a group, director of an orchestra.
Born in Uruguay, Chow studied art in Puerto Rico. Then he heard rumors of a growing artist community in a converted factory space in Boston.
My friends everywhere, artists, they say, hey, come to the Piano Factory, it's a paradise.
40 years later, Chow is still here, and his work can be seen from Salem to Center Street.
I was working with the gang members, to elderly people, to single mothers, but I'm not complaining. I love this for the sake of art, for community, to build a community.
As the crowd grows outside, Chow gives us a sneak peek of the images now stretched 85 feet across 17 panels. The piece is titled An Ode to Africa in the Americas and represents the work of more than 24 volunteer artists and students, including visual arts major Tamaya Wright.
I actually loved working with Roberto. In a way, he was kind of like a teacher, instructor, and then another way, he was more like your friend and your family.
To the beat of a community drummer, the final piece is revealed to applause and a surprise for the man who has dedicated so much of his career to adding color to his communities. By declaration of Mayor Wu, November 3rd is declared
Roberto Chow Day in the city of Boston.
A great honor, but one he quickly turns over to the community, calling up each artist contributor by name.
This is our hands, the participant hands. We start as a group, but finally we finish as a family.
And back to Wen Ti-tsen. His project was more than 70 years in the making. His inspiration came back in the 1950s, living on Beacon Hill, where he was greatly impressed by an immigrant laundry worker near his home who always put in 14-hour days. POW Arts is holding weekly open studio hours to give people a chance to see the statues evolve and connect with the pieces before they are installed across Chinatown.